University leaders asked to emulate Museveni's patience. EC calls for stakeholder engagement before 2026 polls. Police develop SOP's handbook ahead of 2026 elections. And Kenyan court allows military deployment to quell protests.
The news on Paradigm FM 100.0, the trusted voice.
A very good afternoon, dear listener. At 1 minute past 1, the afternoon bulletin on 100.0 Paradigm FM is read to be Alinda Kimili, and now the news in detail. The NRM Secretary General Richard Todong has employed university student leaders to emulate President Museveni's patience in their leadership. He was speaking at Makerere University during a one-day training of university leaders on patriotism and good governance among young people. The training was organized by the Director of Youth and Institutions at the NRM Secretariat. He said patience is a virtue that these leaders must have in whatever they do. The NRM Secretary General also implored the young leaders to have discipline, humility, and respect for leaders and peers. He also urged the young leaders to never tolerate corruption that he said is the virus that has eaten up the country to the marrow. The Electoral Commission has called for further engagement of different stakeholders to prepare the country for the next cycle of general elections in 2026. Stephen Tashobia, the Commission's Vice Chairperson, says a lot of important lessons were learned through interactions with different stakeholders in the last elections. Speaking during the National Symposium held in Kampala on Thursday on the role of security agencies during the elections, Tashobia said these engagements should also target other youth. At the same event, the acting National Unity Platform Party Deputy President Lina Zedriga accused the government of closing the civic space using its security agencies, which is contrary to the Constitution. However, the Deputy Defense Public Information Officer Cole Dewa Keki said ensuring a peaceful electoral process is a collective responsibility. The symposium was organized by the Network of Public Interest Lawyers in Kampala. Still moving on, the Uganda Police Force has developed standards operating procedures for its police officers to remind them their roles and responsibilities while on duty. SOPs give step-by-step instructions needed to perform specific tasks consistently and efficiently. Over time during elections, the police force has been accused of abusing the political rights of opposition politicians. Last month, the Minister of Internal Affairs, Kahindo Tafiria, passed a directive to the new police chief, specifically talked of beatings of National Unity Platform leaders and supporters. Speaking at National Symposium on the role of security agencies in the election in Kampala, the Commissioner Community Policing at the Uganda Police Force, Anatole Muleterwa, said these will be pocket handbooks that will be handed over to every police officer. Now, Uganda Wildlife Authority has released revenue sharing funds amounting to over Uganda shillings 1.5 billion for the financial year 2021-2022 and 2022-2023 to communities in the districts bordering the Queen Elizabeth Conservation Area. The funds were last evening handed over to the leaders from 12 districts that share the boundary with Queen Elizabeth National Park at an event that was held at Kalia Courts in Fort Portal City and was presided over by Uganda Wildlife Authority Directorate of Finance and Administration, Jimmy Mogisa, who represented the Executive Director, Sam Mwonda. The districts that received the money include Kasese District, which took the lion's share of Uganda shillings 596.1 million, followed by Kitabwena District, which took Uganda shillings 262.6 million. Lubirizi District got Uganda shillings 234.8 million. Rukunjiro District got Uganda shillings 146.9 million, while Kanungu District got Uganda shillings 130.5 million. Others include Mitoma District, which took Uganda shillings 83.9 million. Ibanda District took Uganda shillings 37.3 million. Bundabuga District took Uganda shillings 18.9 million. Kamenge District took Uganda shillings 12.3 million. Bunyanga District got Uganda shillings 9.4 million. Kabarole District took Uganda shillings 4.2 million, and Itoroko District took Uganda shillings 1.8 million. According to the Uganda Wildlife Authority Manager for Communications, Bashir Hangi, the initiative of revenue sharing among the communities bordering the conservation areas aims at promoting sustainable conservation practices and fosters a sense of ownership and responsibility among the local communities. Hangi explained that the allocated funds are intended to support various community-initiated projects, including education, health care, infrastructure, and other initiatives aimed at improving the quality of life for the residents of benefiting districts.
You are still listening to the news. Zero. We take up a break and then return with news on the internationals.
So in that effort of the party, twagala kukongola okubawo abakola abakakalukana newabawo abaduula obutuuzi alina okwenyigira mu kugoba obwavu mu makage owuliriza okuwabula engeri yonna asobola okugobamu obwavu mu makaago. Katonda yatulagira dda nti tukole yakiwandiika mu kisawo ky'olubereberi. By working we can get results and then we pray that God blesses our work.
The Kenyan High Court has approved use of military force to restore order following days of untaxed protests that at some point of police. More than 20 people have reportedly been killed in the nationwide protests that are largely led by young people opposed to government plans to increase taxes. Armored military vehicles patrolled streets in the capital, Nairobi, on Thursday as police fired tear gas to disperse protesters who had threatened to storm the presidential palace. Justice Lawrence Mugambi said that the military deployment was critical to protect the installation, but gave the authorities 2 days to clarify how long the deployment must last, along with its rules of engagement. The Law Society of Kenya, which had petitioned the court to order the army back to the barracks, said it respects but disagrees with the ruling. Our dear listener, at 7 minutes past 1, that marks the end of our afternoon bulletin on 100.0 Paradigm FM. Let's take a look back to our top stories. University leaders asked to emulate Museveni's patience. EC calls for stakeholder engagement before 2026 polls. Police developed SOP's handbook ahead of 2026 elections. And Kenya court allows military deployment to quell protests. Have a good afternoon, nice lunch. Stay with us.